please tell us your name and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Jack Pfeiffer. First name is Jack, last name is Pfeiffer.
And although it may be fairly obvious to us, could you tell us about whom are you employed?
I work for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
How long have you been with the Metro Nashville Police Department?
A little over 4 years.
And what are your current duties and assignments with the police department?
So I work on patrol in Midtown sector precinct. I am a field training officer and also a maritime officer as well.
Okay. And what is a field training officer in the FTO?
So a field training officer deals with training anybody new that's coming from the academy and kind of bringing them through training in the actual field environment outside of the academy. My duties as a maritime officer is boat enforcement. So if you see us on the rivers and on the lakes inside Davidson County, we would be the people that are dealing with that issues of, boating under the influence, other stuffs of like disorderly issues on the lake.
And do you hold currently any particular rank with the police department?
No.
Okay. But as an FTO in maritime, do you train other officers now?
Correct.
Okay. Directing your attention to February of 2023, particularly the evening of the 25th into the early morning hours of February 26th, were you working for the police department?
Yes.
And what were your duties at that time?
I was a patrol officer at the time in the Midtown area that I can currently still work.
Okay. And just generally, what is the Midtown area?
So we have 9 precincts that divide Davidson County, and I work in Midtown, which is that precinct. It goes from essentially 40 to parts of 440 all the way down to the county line off of 65 and Knowlesville area. We cover probably over 200 to 300,000 people.
Does it include the Vanderbilt University Medical Center?
Correct, it does.
Okay. And back on, again, the evening of the 25th, morning of the 26th, were you dispatched to a call at Vanderbilt University Medical Center?
I was.
Do you remember approximately what time it was, the day or night?
It was, I think, closer to like 11 o'clock at night.
And when you were dispatched there, did you have any real specifics about what you were going for?
The only specifics we were given is the call for service that we are given, which is, somebody calls us and gives us their description of what they want us to come out and deal with. We had gotten a call from Vandy about some poisoning that had occurred. A belief of poisoning, at least.
When you say we, the police department, received that, and that information was sent to you?
Correct.
Okay. And did you go to the Vanderbilt campus?
I did. I went to the Vanderbilt ER.
And were you familiar with that location?
Yes.
Were you given, before you arrived there, the names or descriptions of any individuals to look for?
Not, from my recollection, I don't remember exactly who, but the Vanderbilt Police Department had advised us of names of people to look for, and we had, and who to talk to.
So, fair to say, Vanderbilt was assisting, or at least helping to some extent, with names and other information.
Correct.
Did you ever talk to a doctor?
No.
Or a nurse?
No.
Now, when you arrived, were you in uniform?
Yes.
And as part of that uniform, did it back in February of 2023 include a body-worn camera?
It did.
Have that on today?
I do. It's a different model, but same concept.
And just briefly, tell us about that concept. How does that work?
So our body-worn cameras take video 60 seconds prior to their activation, and then upon activation, they also record audio. And they're meant to stay on for the duration of the call or to get the completion of the call.
And, pardon me, can you manually operate it to turn it on and off?
Yes.
And are there places where you would turn it off?
Very, very specific instances, but very rarely do we ever turn them off.
Okay. And was the area at Vanderbilt Hospital where the ER, was that a place where you turned it off at any time?
No, we do not turn off our body-worn camera unless during my recording, of course, I went to the restroom. I turned it off when I went to the restroom.
Now, when you arrived there and were given some names, was one of the names that you were given Blaise Taylor?
Yes.
And did you come to see that individual in the area of the Vanderbilt emergency room?
Yes, I was directed by Vanderbilt PD towards the individual, Blaise Taylor.
To your knowledge, had you ever seen that person before, had any interaction with him?
No.
Was your interaction with the person you came to be directed to, Blaise Taylor, recorded on your body-worn camera?
He was.
And do you see that person here in the courtroom today?
I do.
Did you describe where he's sitting, perhaps article or two of clothing?
He's wearing a blue suit over here to my right. He has a goatee.
This record reflects he has identified Mr. Taylor.
Okay.
Now, have you had an opportunity to review that body-worn camera video?
I have.
And have you had an opportunity to review a transcript of the conversation that you had with Mr. Taylor?
I did.
And Your Honor, with court's permission, now have the officer handed a copy of the transcript, which has been provided to counsel, but I have another copy. May also answer is left over.
Okay, show that.
Along with the USB. Those could be answered up. Officer Pfeiffer, you're being handed a manila envelope that contains a USB, and if you just open that and just take a look at it. I believe it has an identifying tag on it, your name on it.
It does.
Or it should. Right. Now, the transcript that you've been handed, if you had an opportunity to review that in comparison with what is on the USB.
I have.
And is the transcript a fair and accurate transcription of the conversation that is on the body-worn camera?
Yes.
All right, this time I would move to introduce the USB as an exhibit, and with a copy of the transcript as an exhibit for identification. I have made several copies.
Not wanting the transcript made an exhibit.
Well, at this point, after the jury hears it, it's just going to, but now it's fine. Exhibit 1 and, well,
All right,
6 and 6A.
and B. Are you wanting to play that?
Yes, Your Honor, after another question or two, but I said, if I
can
can
you
pass
get
out.
those copies? This probably.
Yeah. Just get them out of my hand. There should be enough for the jury and the court order and an extra one for the thing. Now, what I want to ask, Officer Pfeiffer identified Mr. Taylor, saw him there, and was your body-worn camera running the entire time as you walked up?
Yes.
Okay. You will show the interaction, but what was your initial observation when you saw Mr. Taylor? Of what was he doing? What was his appearance and demeanor?
This is during COVID, so everyone's gonna have masks, or it's kind of the end of COVID, right? So he's on his phone, and I'm being directed by Vanderbilt police about where he kind of direction he went, and so I just see him on his phone, kind of talking into the distance on the outside of the ER.
Was he the first individual you talked with when you arrived at Vanderbilt, other than the Vanderbilt police?
Yes.
Involved in the incident that you were there for? Did you later speak with an individual you learned to be Nijaiha Jackson?
Yes.
Had you received any information whatsoever from her before you talked to Mr. Taylor?
No.
I would ask to publish the video and have the jury.
Okay, you can pass those copies out. Hold on, just
Hold up. And while it's frozen there for a moment, Officer Pfeiffer, can you tell us what is the area? Where are we looking at? What are we looking at here?
So this is I'm walking out of the entrance to the emergency room to like the lobby area. So this had been like, there's a valet area in the front of Vanderbilt ER. He's standing right next to that valet area.
And just for the sake of asking, the person in the yellow top, have any involvement with this?
No.
Somebody walking by?
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of foot traffic around Vanderbilt ER, as you'd expect from a big hospital.
I'm just saying, this does have audio, so we'll not ask anything while it's playing.
all right, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've been given a transcript that the officer says is fair and accurate, but if you find, from your listening to the audio, seeing on the visual, that there's something different between what you hear and what's related in the transcript, you have to rely on what you think was said, okay?
Do we need?
Mike. Okay.
Hey ma'am, what's happening today? What's happening today?
So, my girlfriend, she's obviously in the emergency room or whatever.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I was the last one. We were together on a date night.
Where were you?
Where?
Where?
At her place.
At her place, okay. Where's that?
It's off Lebanon Pike. It's a new deal. She just moved there.
You know the address?
No, I don't know the exact address. I just know I know how to get there. It's real easy to get there. And I know it's right by Burger King. So when I get to Burger King, I know it's right there. I just turn left.
Okay.
But it's a new deal. They're still not even finished with all the buildings there. But her building's
I got you.
but yeah, she's a partner one of her condo 7.
So what happened today?
So went over there. She's like, hey, got this thing planned for us. Date night, 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, went in. She cooked dinner. She had these canvases for us to paint, and all that stuff. And then get there, do all that. She made a lot of food, so one of her friends came by with her, I think boyfriend or friend or whatever. They picked up some food, stuck around for maybe about 5 minutes tops, and then just us hanging out and all that. She started not to feel well. It's kind of all
There's no like violence or anything like that, drug violence, stuff like that.
Oh, no, no.
It's just all medical kind of thing.
Yeah. She just had some type of, yeah, absolutely.
All right, you can pass those transcripts back down this way, Leisha.
Officer Pfeiffer, when we saw the time at the top, was that coming from the body on camera?
Correct.
Military time.
Correct. So 23, it was 43 around that time, so it'll be 11 p.m.
Now, did you ask or ever find out who Mr. Taylor was talking to on the cell phone?
No.
When you were interviewing him or trying to interview him?
I never asked.
Now, after you spoke with Mr. Taylor, did you provide the substance of that to any other officer there? The substance of what he had said?
Yes, later I advised other officers about what he had told me, but I advised Officer Fish, and but I don't know at which point who I talked to exactly.
Now, with respect to, did you see the individual that was identified to you as being Nijaiha Jackson?
Yes, I was told of another individual who had wanted to talk to us about this incident.
All right. Now, I'm not going to get into what she may have told you, but where was she when you first saw her?
She was also outside in that same area, just a little bit farther off, closer to the street.
Jury's obviously seen the video of Mr. Taylor, but what was Ms. Jackson's demeanor or appearance when you initially saw her?
She seemed very worried.
Was she by herself at that time when you spoke with her?
Yes.
And the information that she relayed to you was that then also passed along to other officers?
Correct.
Do you recall there being Officer Kalinsky? Was he there?
Yes, he was.
And Sergeant Smith?
Yes.
Did you ever communicate with Sergeant Smith that night about anything that you had observed or had recorded?
No. I relayed all my information to the primary officer on the scene, who then relayed it to the detectives.
Okay. And is that how procedurally things are supposed to work?
Yes. There's always someone who's in charge of the scene, and everything gets funneled up to them so that there's no misunderstanding about what's happening.
How long were you there that night, morning?
A couple hours.
Were you assigned to do any follow-up investigation or duties, responsibilities about this matter?
No, that would be outside the scope of patrol.
So it'd be fair to say this is the extent of your dealings with Mr. Taylor.
Correct.
Did you see him any more at the hospital after your interview with him?
Yes, he was sitting in the waiting room.
And what, if anything, was he doing at that time?
He was on his phone.
Was there anyone with him in that particular area of the waiting room?
I don't recall exactly if there was anybody sitting that would have been associated with him.
Those are my questions, Charlie.
All right. Question from the defense.
Good afternoon, officer. So you were not the primary investigating officer, right?
That is correct.
Is that basically assigned based on kind of who gets there first?
No. Normally, the primary investigating officer will be the individual that we, like I said, we have precincts, but we divide precincts up into different areas. So there's a zone officer, and that zone officer normally, if they respond to that scene, are going to be the primary officer for the investigation.
So was that Officer Fish on this one?
Correct.
Was she at the scene before you?
We responded, and I think we arrived pretty close in time.
But just based on sort of internal police structures that maybe are above my knowledge level, she was assigned as the primary investigating officer, not you.
Correct.
So then does your role kind of become assist where needed, kind of take stock of everything that's going on and interview people and collect information?
Correct.
And that's generally what you did in this case, right?
What I did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know about how long you were there that night?
However long my body worn cameras, I think it's a couple hours.
Okay. Do you know about how long you had been there when you interviewed Mr. Taylor at 11:43 p.m.?
I know it had been shortly after I responded because we kind of started doing our job right away.
Okay. So that's one of the first conversations you have when you got to the scene. Is that fair?
Correct.
Did you and Officer Fish kind of divide conversations, or was it just whoever you guys run into is who you talk to?
I think it's more on the aspect of she went to go talk to medical staff because this is a big hospital, and we didn't really have any information about the victim, so I was going to collect information from anybody that had been around the area.
So the fact that you guys were called to the scene, there was some concern whether it was Vanderbilt or any of that. This was something that needed to be investigated. Is that fair?
The call, yeah, someone was worried that something was wrong, yes.
Okay. But at this point, there's no homicide detectives involved. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you haven't talked to Nijaiha Jackson yet, correct?
Correct.
When you talked to Mr. Taylor, do you know how long he had been at the hospital?
I did not know at the time, no.
When you indicated that sometime later you still saw him sitting in a chair on the phone, do you know how much later that was after this body cam conversation with him?
Of him sitting in the waiting room?
Yes.
He'd been kind of in and out of the waiting room the entire time, so, I mean.
So let's try, I'm trying to kind of get maybe some rough timeline here. So you get there, let's say 11:30 or so, does that seem fair?
Yeah, around there maybe.
Okay. You interview him about 11:43, right?
Correct.
Your body cam is at least 2 hours, maybe between 2 and 3 hours, does that seem fair?
Correct.
Do you think that you saw Mr. Taylor still sitting in the waiting room at least 2 or 3 hours later?
Correct. He was there, I think, from my knowledge, I recall him still being there like an hour plus after we had talked to him.
To your knowledge and your recollection, was he there the entire time that you were at the hospital?
From my recollection, he was there at least the majority of the time at our hospital. I don't know if he ever left in between.
So you don't have any specific recollection of him leaving during the time that you're at the hospital?
Correct.
And during that conversation that you had at the with him, obviously we watched it, right? Right. That's the only conversation you had with him, right?
In depth, correct.
Maybe there's something brief in passing.
Yes, I may have missed some information. How to make sure I had some like demographic information if I missed anything.
And other than him kind of being on the phone and quickly picking up another phone call, he answers your questions, right?
He does.
He provides you some information about what happened that night, right?
He does.
And it's at this time, it's not your responsibility to do like a full like interrogation of anybody, is it?
No, we do like preliminary statements about what's happening and kind of figure out what the general idea of the scene is.
Yeah, just kind of getting the lay of the land, right?
Correct.
Figuring out who the players are, right?
Correct.
Kind of knowing what everybody's saying happened, right?
Correct.
Just very brief, right?
Mhm.
It's intended to be brief, is that correct?
I mean, unless more information's coming up from previous stuff, we may ask more specific questions, but normally there's a follow-up, and we'll follow up if there's more questions to be had at the time. But sometimes we leave that for detectives because they are the ones that have the ability and means to follow up at a larger extent.
Okay, that's fair. But this interview with Mr. Taylor, this was just the initial interview, right?
Correct.
You hadn't gotten any kind of follow-up interview or questioning, right?
Correct.
So it's kind of almost intentionally brief. Is that fair?
I wouldn't say that I'm intentionally making it a brief conversation. I would say that I make it as long as it needs to be.
Okay. But I guess maybe what I'm just trying to understand, just maybe for myself and for the jury, is it wasn't unusually brief. Is that fair?
I mean, he gave me the information that he had at the time. There wasn't really much specifics to what he gave, though.
Okay. During that conversation, he does note at one time that it's kind of a blur. Is that right?
He does say that.
Okay. He does refer to Ms. Benning as his girlfriend, right?
Correct.
He does indicate that during the 911 call, they asked if it might be allergic reaction. Is that right?
Correct.
There wasn't any point in that time questioning that he refused to answer any of your questions. Is that right?
No.
At some point in time during your time at the hospital, did you interact with a social worker?
I don't recall if I ever interacted with a social worker.
You don't remember a social worker being involved in the hospital situation?
I remember there being a social worker involved. I don't recall if I had interaction with them.
Well, you do remember that this was a situation where whether the hospital asked or on their own accord, there was a social worker involved.
Correct.
Are you familiar with other situations where social workers are involved
Correct, yeah.
at the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been an officer for 4 years now?
A little over 4, yep.
It sounds like you have sort of a variety of things that you're involved with in the police department.
Yes.
And is it fair to say you've responded to, at this point in your career, a pretty large number of calls?
At the point I am at now, or the point that I was at?
Now,
Yes,
some calls involve medical emergencies.
yes.
Some calls involve various allegations of criminal conduct.
Yes.
Some calls involve injuries or death. Is that right?
Yep.
So you responded to a kind of wide variety of situations where the police might be involved.
Yes.
In your experience, do all people in those situations, friends, family, whoever, witnesses, do they all react to situations that you're responding to in the same kind of way?
No.
And obviously, I'm not asking you to describe all the different reactions, but can you often predict how a friend or family or loved one or even a witness is going to react to the situation where police is involved?
No, I can't predict how someone's going to react to a situation.
Is that particularly true where there's someone is critically injured or even killed?
Yes, but a lot of times people will be pretty direct with you if they want to talk to you.
But I guess what I'm sort of asking is, when someone's injured or killed, is it fair to describe that as traumatic?
Yes.
And in your experience, do people respond to that or react to that trauma in different ways?
Yes.
and you've had an opportunity to sort of observe like a wide variety of those reactions, right?
I have.
And you've never interacted with Mr. Taylor before, right?
Correct.
You don't know, especially at that time, you didn't know anything about his background, right?
No, I did not.
And you didn't know anything about what experience he has with trauma or traumatic situations.
I did not.
So your job in this case was really just collecting information, right?
Correct.
You weren't reaching any conclusions or anything like that, right?
No, that would be up to the detective.
Just one second. That's all I got. Thank you.
You need to read your record.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.